I'm Wright Brennan. This is the Lost in the Midlands podcast brought to you by Seawright Roofing. And today is a very special day. I am with the Lexington Chamber Young Professional of the Year, Lindsey Miles with the Miles Agency Allstate. A really awesome person, Lindsey. Thanks for hanging out today.
Thank you for having me, Wright.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun interview. I'm excited to hear about that award and what's going on at the agency, which I took a tour of recently.
That's right.
So, but before we do all that stuff, let's talk about your beginnings, where you're from.
Sounds great. So I am from Florence, South Carolina. So is my husband. We both are Gamecocks. So we came up here for college, and we've stayed ever since. So Columbia got us. We love it here. We moved out to Lexington in 2018, and we bought our agency, the Miles Agency, in 2022.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
And so wait, you're both from Florence?
We are both from
High
Florence.
school sweethearts?
We are not high school sweethearts. We did know each other, but we didn't date until college.
That's fun. That's pretty cool. Very exciting. Fantastic. Okay, so you left college, and you guys were like, well, let's get into Allstate. Or was there some other?
No, good question. I actually am a chemist. So my background is in chemistry. That's my degree. And I started my career at Nephron Pharmaceuticals Corporation, which is a local company here in West Columbia.
Big one.
It is. It's a big company. And I was there for 10 years.
Wow.
So I loved it. It was great. Loved the science behind everything. Yeah. Loved making pharmaceutical medication that helps patients. I have a passion for healthcare and people. But we had the opportunity in 2022. My husband was actually working at Nephron as well. And
Cool.
We had the opportunity to buy an insurance agency.
Yeah.
My brother is on the finance side of insurance. And so we knew the gentleman selling, and my brother was partners with him.
Yeah.
So it just was the right time, right place, and we decided to jump in and buy an agency. So my husband is the agent in charge, and I just came on board with our agency this year, 2024.
What an exciting decision to make. Were y'all? What happened at the dinner table? Were y'all like in the midst of the decision? How was it? Was communication at a minimum, or was it like all you guys all over the place? Or like, let's just do it?
That's a good question. I'm very much one that I just feel like the Lord will lead you down your path. And so I felt good about it. And my husband is more of the researcher. I'm the one that's like, sounds great. Let's do it. And so he did some research before we went forward with it. I was okay, this sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. But he figured out all the licenses he needed, everything he needed for buying a business, the loans. There's a lot to it that people don't realize when you buy your own business, or you're buying a business or starting a business, like you. And so it was very interesting, but we both just went for it.
Yeah, well, that speaks to what an amazing team you guys are. You got to have the optimism and the realism, and I can tell it just comes together in an amazing way, which has led to so much of y'all's success. All right, let's talk about some Allstate policy stuff. How are you getting new customers, by the way?
So I am now in a BNI, which is a great way to network and get your name out and have people refer clients to you. So that is one way. That was one of the things when I came on board, was to be able to do more of the networking and the community relations.
Cool.
As we talked about with the award, I really like to be involved in the community.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the ways that I am doing so. But my husband's done a lot of research and knows, what it takes to be able to get leads in to sell your agency policies to folks. So he's done a really good job, and I've just come on board to do more of the local networking, community relations.
Oh, fantastic. That's a fun job.
It is. I love it.
You're doing an amazing job. Were you surprised that you won the award, or, you were like...
No, look. I was definitely surprised. I love the Lexington Chamber. I think Angel Laborde, who is the CEO there, is phenomenal. And I've been really fortunate. I've been involved in their Women's Council program that she just started, which is a great program. But I just never imagined that I was going to win this Young Professional Award, and she sent me an email saying I was nominated, And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Because I haven't been as involved in Lexington Chamber since leaving Nephron. I've been as involved in this women's council, but I haven't been as involved and haven't been able to go to the breakfasts as much. So it was really exciting.
You're still making a huge impact is what all that means. So that is fantastic. Goodness. Let me ask you this. Who's the niche Allstate customer? Is there like, hey, look, we're looking for somebody who's got a 3-story house, not a 2-story?
No, that's a great question. So really anyone, everyone needs insurance.
Yep.
Biggest thing, right? And we'll get into my story, I'm sure, in just a minute about why you definitely need insurance. But everybody needs insurance. However, I will say Allstate does like not as risky clients. You got to think with insurance, everything's about risk, right? Yep. So they're going to write your policies based on risk. How much you're going to pay is based on risk. So they're going to pull your motor vehicle report. They're going to pull different things that have happened over the years. That's why you have these reports. And they're going to see what type of client you may be. Yeah. And it all depends on the price of things. If you have a brand new, nice, fancy car, you're going to be paying more than someone with an older car that's not going to, be as much to fix.
Right. Okay.
So it's just dependent upon what you have, where you are in life. But any client, anybody that needs insurance, which is anybody that drives a car or has a home or rents an apartment. Yeah. So most everyone needs insurance, and we can help.
Okay. But if you're 16 years old and you already got 5 tickets for speeding,
Allstate will probably not write your policy.
Not a winner. Okay.
That's right. We can broker out to some other companies that if you are 16 and you have 5 speeding tickets or accidents, we can still help you.
Okay. And that's the deal with you guys. You can help them. You will put them in the right place.
That's
which is
right.
Great.
That's right.
And after you get your policy, what if something happens? Who do they call?
They call us. So that is one of the biggest things that we tell our clients. Yeah. Do not call the 1-800 number because it is an Allstate policy. So they can do that. Yeah. They can call the 1-800 number. But why we are different, and other agents, of course, are great and do the same thing, but why we're different than from just if you have a policy through Allstate's website. We are a local agency. We want to help you. We will help you through every step of the process if anything happens to make sure that you're filing a claim when necessary. There may be a time that you file a claim and you still have to pay out of pocket because your deductible is higher than it cost. And people don't know that, so they still go call the 800 number and file a claim. Guess what? That gets put on your record. Yeah. Even though the agency didn't have to pay anything to you, it still goes on your record as filing a claim.
You become risky.
So, exactly. So, it's really important that you call our agency. We will help you through every step of the way.
Okay, yeah, that's fantastic. I can tell you guys really put the personal touch on your, book of business so that everybody feels welcome. And they're probably calling you guys all day. Hey, what's going on? Just want to catch up on stuff. Is that okay, too? Are they allowed to just catch up with you guys?
It's funny you say that. Our office manager has been at this agency that we've purchased for quite some time, and so a lot of people know her and do call her directly and want to ask her questions, and so our phone does ring quite often. So if you ever get the answering machine, we will call you back. It's because everyone is on the phone.
Somebody else is on the phone. That's awesome. This is Wright Brennan, the owner of See Right Roofing. When it comes to the maintenance of your roof, you want to know that you have an experienced team that knows what they're doing. And with 10 years in the business, we check all the boxes. Leaky roof, storm damage, or just overdue on maintenance, give us a call at 803-828-4181 for a free estimate. Again, that's 803-828-4181. And remember, our commitment is to roof it the right way. Okay, well, you recently had an incident.
I did.
This is what happens when you're in, it's always whatever your specialty is, that's going to happen to you too, probably. So,
it's crazy because, we've been through certain things, buying homes and different things that, the house to us next door burned down at the first home we ever bought. And so that was kind of crazy. We were lucky. We had a little bit of damage, didn't have anything crazy. Yeah. And just this week, right before I come on your podcast, my husband happens to be at the Allstate Agency Conference. He never travels. This is the one time a year he travels. So I'm upstairs with the kids. I have 2 kids, a 6-year-old and a now 3-year-old. And I hear the dogs whining at like 4 in the morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get up. Finally get up because they don't stop. And my whole entire downstairs is flooded with 2 inches of water.
Have mercy.
Crazy. So insurance is really, really important. I will say Shannon with Drip Ninjas, who's coming on your podcast, she is the first person I called. Yeah. And she came out immediately. She's wonderful. So they do a great job, and they have started the drying process. But it's been a lot. And Allstate, I will say, we've never had to be on that claim side of Allstate. We normally are helping customers through it. Yeah. And it's been a really seamless process. I, with everything going on, haven't had to do much. Really between Shannon and the adjusters and the claims team called me right away and have said, we're here to help you. Don't worry about a thing. We will take care of it. The adjuster came out right away, has been very nice, has been working with the contractor of Shannon's group. Yeah. And I really haven't had to do much.
Oh, that's fantastic. And now you can really relate and probably understand if somebody does call in with a big problem, like, we know the playbook here. So
exactly. Unfortunately, I can do that.
Yeah, that is well, I'm sorry that your house is flooded, but to the benefit of your customers, your house is flooded. And so now they really are working with the professional team. Okay, so let me ask you this. Somebody who's going to get into insurance, what kind of stuff should they be thinking about?
So the biggest thing, you're saying if they want a career in insurance.
If they want to work in the insurance field, helping people, sell policies.
So first thing, you have to be licensed. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people will say, well, can I come be an office manager or can I do paperwork? You cannot do anything in the insurance world unless you are licensed.
Wow.
So for most of what we sell, our biggest policies that we like to sell and that we try to sell are your personal policies. We can do commercial policies. We can do other things also. But the biggest thing are personal policies, like your home and cars, boats, RVs, golf carts, things like that. To be able to sell that or work in and around any of that, you have to have a property and casualty license. Okay. So that's the biggest first step is you got to get that license.
You can't just be Yahoo. Just doing whatever you want.
That's right. So you do have to take a test. There's an exam. We always recommend studying. There's a Kaplan course. There's different courses that you can use to study and then go in to take the exam because that's the very first step in being able to do anything in insurance, which is good. One thing I've learned from being at Nephron, which is a pharmaceutical company, and quality is everything. You have to make sure that quality from step one of the raw material to the finished product that's packaged and going to the clients, that every quality check happens. Insurance is really the same thing. You have to make sure your client is covered. You have to make sure all the boxes are checked. Yeah. So there's still a lot of detail, which is why you have to get these licenses, because you have to make sure that your client is covered. And if anything does happen, like a flood,
they got the right stuff.
That they have the right stuff.
Yeah, it's not the type of product where you sell it and it's like, all right, good luck with that awesome product. You're there for the long term.
You are there for the long term. That's a great way to put it, right?
Very cool. Okay. When you switched, I know there were like probably some things that you thought might be different about, going from Nephron to Allstate. Anything surprise you?
I will say what has surprised me is how complicated insurance is. Pharmaceuticals, very complicated process. There's a batch record for everything, a standard operating procedure for everything, so it's just very, very detailed. And I'm like, it's insurance. Like you say, this is the house, right? This is the car, and you're covered. But there's all different kinds of coverages. There's state minimum coverages that we do not recommend. Yeah. And it depends on your life and what you do. And if you have a family, if you don't have a family, there's just so many factors that go into insurance. Like I said, there's so many quality checks and so many things you really have to know. It's very personalized, and a lot of people don't want to talk to an agent. They do just want to go online and input that information and get a quote. You may not be covered, and that's why it's really important to have an agent and be able to talk to them and tell them about your life so they can make sure that anywhere you do need insurance, you're covered for the right amount.
Okay. So going to the website and not talking to an agent, the wrong move.
That's
Calling Lindsey, the right move. How do they get in touch with you?
That's right. Anyone is welcome to call our office, which will be on the podcast and the website and everything. You can also call my cell phone. As I mentioned, I'm from Florence, so it's an 843 area code, but my cell phone is 843-229-7636, and I would love anyone to give me a call, and we'd be happy to help.
Fantastic. Well, look, congratulations on your well-deserved award. Your amazing agency that's doing fantastic. And I know you guys are over at the house. You know, the proof's in the pudding with what you got a claim going on, and you guys are tackling it, and that is fantastic. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Wright.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hey everyone, many thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a follow and click the bell to stay up to date on future episodes, or click the link to watch another previous episode. Also, don't forget to like, share, and please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your feedback.